Hello and welcome. Tonight we're going on a peaceful journey beneath the waves, to the quiet world of the ocean where gentle creatures drift and glide through water as clear as glass or as dark as midnight. But we're not exploring the dangerous depths tonight. We're discovering the calm side of the sea, the beautiful side, the soothing side of ocean life. Before we begin, let's take a moment to settle in. Find a comfortable position. Let your body sink into your bed or wherever you're resting, the way a stone sinks gently to the ocean floor. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose, like you're breathing in fresh sea air, and let it out slowly through your mouth, like a gentle wave retreating from the shore. Again, breathe in deeply, filling your lungs, and release, feeling your shoulders drop, your jaw relax, your whole body softening. One more time, breathe in, and let everything go, like releasing a message in a bottle to the sea. Perfect. You don't need to do anything but listen. You can close your eyes or keep them gently open, like looking through calm, clear water. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to remember. Just rest, just float. Let's begin our journey through the peaceful world beneath the waves. We'll start with one of the most graceful creatures in all the ocean, the jellyfish. Now, you might think of jellyfish as dangerous with their stinging tentacles, but tonight, let's focus on something else, on their movement, their grace, their almost meditative existence. Jellyfish have been drifting through the oceans for over 500 million years. Longer than trees have existed, longer than dinosaurs walked the earth. They were here before almost everything else, and they've survived by doing one thing perfectly. Simply existing, simply being, simply floating. Imagine a jellyfish suspended in clear blue water. Its bell-shaped body pulses gently, rhythmically, opening and closing like a slow heartbeat. Each pulse is effortless, requiring almost no energy. It doesn't swim with purpose or direction. It simply moves with the current, trusting the ocean to take it where it needs to go. The jellyfish's body is 95% water. It's barely there, almost transparent, like living glass. When light passes through it, it creates the most beautiful colors. Soft pinks, gentle blues, pale purples, shimmering whites, like a living prism, catching sunlight and transforming it into something magical. There's something deeply peaceful about watching a jellyfish move. That gentle pulsing, that slow drift, that complete surrender to the water around it. The jellyfish doesn't fight the current, doesn't struggle against the tide. It simply allows itself to be carried, to be moved, to go wherever the ocean takes it. And in that surrender, there's perfect peace. Some jellyfish glow in the dark, bioluminescent species that light up the deep ocean like underwater stars. They don't glow to attract attention or to show off. They glow simply because that's what they do, because their bodies create light as naturally as your body creates warmth. Imagine the deep ocean at night, dark and vast and quiet. And then, slowly, jellyfish begin to appear. First one, glowing soft blue. Then another and another, until the water is filled with gentle, pulsing light. Like fireflies underwater, like stars that have fallen into the sea. It's one of the most peaceful sights in all of nature. Just light and darkness, and the slow, eternal pulse of the jellyfish, breathing with the rhythm of the ocean itself. The moon jellyfish is particularly gentle. It's called that because it looks like a small moon, translucent and round, glowing softly in the water. moon jellyfish gather in groups called blooms, sometimes thousands of them together, all pulsing in gentle synchrony. Scientists who study them say that watching a bloom of moon jellyfish is almost hypnotic. The way they move together, not touching, but somehow connected, all following the same slow rhythm. It's like watching a meditation in motion, a dance performed in absolute silence, in perfect harmony. The jellyfish teaches us something important about rest, that we don't always need to be going somewhere, doing something, achieving something, that sometimes the most peaceful thing we can do is simply exist, simply be, simply allow ourselves to drift and float and trust that we'll end up exactly where we need to be. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you can be like the jellyfish. You can let go of direction and purpose and control. You can simply pulse gently with each breath, in and out, trusting your body to carry you into sleep, the way the ocean carries the jellyfish through its vast, peaceful depths. Breathe in, like the jellyfish expanding its bell, and breathe out, like the jellyfish contracting, pushing gently through the water. There's no rush, no urgency, no destination, just this gentle rhythm, this slow pulse, this peaceful drift into deeper and deeper calm. The jellyfish doesn't worry about tomorrow. It doesn't regret yesterday. It exists completely in this moment, in this pulse, in this gentle movement through water. And you can do the same. Right now, in this moment, there's only breath, only this soft expansion and contraction, only this gentle drift towards sleep. Let yourself be like the jellyfish, 95% water, barely there, almost transparent. Let yourself become so light, so soft, so peaceful that you're barely holding on to consciousness anymore. Just drifting, just floating, just being. The jellyfish has been doing this for 500 million years, and it will continue to do this for 500 million more. There is no beginning, no end, just the eternal now, just the pulse, just the drift, just the peace. And you are part of that now, part of that ancient endless rhythm, part of the ocean's gentle heartbeat. You are safe, you are held, you are exactly where you need to be. Let's drift deeper now to meet another gentle creature of the sea, the seahorse. Seahorses are some of the most unusual fish in the ocean and some of the most peaceful. They don't swim like other fish, darting and racing through the water. They move slowly, deliberately, gracefully, like they're dancing to music only they can hear. A seahorse's body is upright, standing in the water like a tiny underwater horse. Its tail is prehensile, like a monkey's tail, and it uses this tail to anchor itself to seagrass or coral. It wraps its tail around a blade of grass and just holds on, swaying gently with the current, watching the world drift by. There's something deeply calming about this image. The seahorse, anchored safely, not fighting the current, but not being swept away by it either, just holding on gently, swaying softly, completely at peace. Seahorses mate for life. When they find their partner, they perform a beautiful dance together every morning. They intertwine their tails, they change colors, they move together in perfect synchrony. This dance lasts only a few minutes, but they do it every single day, a daily reminder of their bond, their connection, their commitment to each other. Imagine that, having a relationship so peaceful, so secure, so deeply rooted that you celebrate it every single morning with a gentle dance. No words needed, no grand gestures, just a few minutes of moving together, of being together, of acknowledging that you're not alone. The seahorses' dance is slow and graceful. They spiral around each other like ribbons in the water. They mirror each other's movements perfectly, as if they're one creature instead of two. And then, when the dance is done, they part ways for the day, each going about their business, but knowing that tomorrow morning they'll dance again. This daily ritual gives the seahorse's life a rhythm, a pattern, a comforting predictability. They know what to expect. They know that no matter what else happens, they'll have this moment of connection, this gentle dance, this peaceful start to their day. You can create rhythms like this in your own life. Gentle rituals that anchor you, that give your days shape and meaning, that remind you of what's important. And sleep itself is one of these rhythms. Every night, you return to the same peaceful state. Every night, you let go of the day and drift into rest. Every night, you dance with sleep, moving gently into its embrace, knowing it will hold you safely until morning. Seahorses are also incredibly patient. They're ambush predators, but in the gentlest possible way. They anchor themselves to seagrass and wait. They don't chase their food, don't hunt aggressively. They simply wait, completely still, until a tiny shrimp or plankton drifts close enough. And then, in one quick movement, they suck it into their snout. And then, they go back to waiting, to being still, to being patient. There's a lesson here about the power of stillness, about the wisdom of waiting, about trusting that what you need will come to you if you're simply patient enough, still enough, open enough. The seahorse doesn't stress about when food will come. It doesn't worry or fret or panic. It simply waits, anchored to its blade of grass, swaying gently, trusting completely that the ocean will provide. And it always does. Tonight, you can be like the seahorse, anchored safely to this moment, to this bed, to this peaceful now. You don't need to chase sleep, don't need to hunt for it desperately. You can simply wait, patiently, gently, knowing that sleep will come to you, will drift close enough for you to embrace it, to let it carry you away. The seahorse's world is quiet and slow. They live in shallow, calm waters where sunlight filters down through the surface, creating patterns of light and shadow on the sandy bottom. The water is warm and clear. The seagrass sways gently. Everything moves in slow motion, like a dream, like time itself has slowed down to match the seahorse's patient, peaceful pace. You can imagine yourself there now, in that shallow, sunlit water. The temperature is perfect, neither hot nor cold, just exactly right. The water supports you completely, holds you gently, allows you to float without effort. You're anchored, like the seahorse, wrapped safely around something solid and secure. And you're swaying, just slightly, with an invisible current, a gentle rocking motion that's infinitely soothing, infinitely calm. The light above you is soft and golden, filtering down through the water in shimmering rays. Small fish drift by, paying you no mind. Tiny particles of sand and plankton float lazily in the water, catching the light like underwater snow. Everything is moving, but so slowly, so gently, that it feels almost like stillness, almost like peace itself has taken physical form. And you're part of this world now, part of this slow, gentle rhythm. You're a seahorse, anchored safely, swaying softly, breathing slowly. In and out, matching the pulse of the ocean, the ancient rhythm that has carried life for billions of years. There's nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to do, no one you need to be, except exactly what you are right now. Still, patient, peaceful, held. The seahorse knows this peace deeply. It's lived this way for millions of years, and it will continue to live this way for millions more. It doesn't question, doesn't doubt, doesn't worry. It simply is. And you can simply be too, right here, right now, in this moment, just being, just breathing, just existing in perfect, complete, absolute peace. Let's sink a little deeper now into slightly darker waters to meet the octopus. Now, you might think of octopuses as intelligent, complex, even a bit mysterious. And they are all of those things. But tonight, we're focusing on their gentle side, their peaceful nature, their remarkable ability to find calm even in a changing world. Octopuses are masters of adaptation. They can change their color and texture in an instant, blending perfectly with their surroundings. A rocky ocean floor, a sandy bottom, a coral reef, they can match any of these perfectly, becoming almost invisible. This isn't about deception or trickery. It's about safety, about finding peace by blending in, by not standing out, by being part of the environment rather than separate from it. When an octopus wants to rest, it finds a small cave or crevice in the rocks. It squeezes its soft, boneless body into this tight space, making itself as small and protected as possible. And then it closes the entrance with rocks and shells, creating a little door, a barrier between itself and the world outside. Inside its den, the octopus is completely safe, completely hidden, completely at peace. The world outside can be chaotic and unpredictable, but inside the den, there's only stillness, only darkness, only the gentle rhythm of the octopus's 3 hearts beating slowly and steadily. Yes, octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 pump blood to the gills, and 1 pumps blood to the rest of the body. When an octopus swims, the heart that delivers blood to the body actually stops beating. That's why octopuses prefer to crawl along the ocean floor rather than swim. It's easier on their hearts, more restful, more peaceful. The octopus understands the importance of conserving energy, of moving slowly and deliberately, of not rushing when there's no need to rush. They glide across the ocean floor like liquid, their 8 arms moving in gentle waves, propelling them forward with minimal effort. Each arm has a mind of its own, semi-autonomous, able to taste and touch and explore independently. But they all work together in perfect harmony, never tangling, never getting in each other's way. Imagine having 8 arms all moving independently, and yet somehow you never have to think about coordinating them. They just know what to do, just move in natural synchrony, just work together effortlessly. That's the octopus's gift, that natural coordination, that effortless harmony. Your body has the same gift. Your heart beats without you telling it to. Your lungs breathe without conscious effort. Your cells regenerate. Your blood flows. Your neurons fire, all without you having to think about it, control it, or manage it. Your body knows what to do, just like the octopus's arms know how to move. And tonight, your body knows how to sleep. You don't need to force it, control it, or worry about it. You can simply trust it, the way the octopus trusts its arms to move in perfect coordination. Octopuses are also remarkably intelligent, but they use their intelligence in gentle ways. They solve puzzles, not through force, but through patience and curiosity. They explore their environment, not by destroying it, but by touching it gently, tasting it carefully, understanding it deeply. When an octopus encounters something new, It doesn't attack or flee. It approaches slowly, cautiously, extending one tentative arm to touch, to explore, to learn. If the new thing seems safe, the octopus will embrace it, wrapping its arms around it, pulling it close, examining it from every angle. There's a gentleness in this curiosity, a respect for the unknown, a willingness to approach new things with openness rather than fear. This is how we might approach sleep, especially when sleep feels elusive or difficult. Not with force or frustration, but with gentle curiosity, with openness, with a willingness to explore the edges of consciousness, to touch the boundary between waking and sleeping, to ease across that threshold with patience and care. At night, some octopuses sleep, and when they do, they dream. Scientists have observed octopuses changing colors and textures while sleeping, cycling through the same patterns they display while hunting or hiding during the day. This suggests they're dreaming, reliving their experiences, processing their day just like we do. And watching an octopus dream is mesmerizing. Its skin ripples with changing colors, dark brown, then sandy yellow, then mottled gray, then back to brown. The patterns flow across its body like thoughts flowing through a mind, like images flickering in a dream. The octopus's breathing slows. Its arms curl gently beneath its body. Its eyes, usually so alert and watchful, become soft and unfocused. It's completely vulnerable in this state, completely trusting that its den will keep it safe, that the rocks will protect it, that it can let go completely and surrender to sleep. This is the ultimate trust. The octopus, so intelligent and aware, choosing to release that awareness, to let consciousness fade, to drift into the unknown territory of dreams. And it does this every night, without fear, without hesitation, because it knows that sleep is safe, that sleep is necessary, that sleep is where healing and growth and integration happen. You can trust sleep the same way. You can release your awareness, let your vigilance fade, allow yourself to drift into that unknown territory. You're protected, just like the octopus in its den. You're safe, surrounded by your own version of rocks and shells. You can let go completely, trusting that sleep will hold you, that dreams will process your day, that you'll wake in the morning refreshed and whole. The octopus's den is dark and quiet. No light penetrates, no sound intrudes. It's a sensory deprivation chamber, a place of absolute peace, of complete stillness. In this darkness, the octopus's mind can finally rest. It doesn't need to watch for predators, doesn't need to hunt for food, doesn't need to navigate or explore or problem solve. It can simply be, simply exist, simply float in the peaceful darkness of its safe, quiet den. You can create the same darkness for yourself right now. You can close your eyes, or if they're already closed, you can let them relax even more deeply. You can imagine yourself in your own den, your own safe space, where nothing can reach you, nothing can disturb you, nothing can intrude on your peace. This den is yours alone. It's perfectly sized for you, perfectly shaped to hold you comfortably. The walls are close enough to feel secure, but not so close that you feel trapped. The temperature is perfect. The darkness is complete. And in this space, you can finally, completely, absolutely let go. The octopus knows that morning will come. It knows that it will need to leave its den, venture back out into the ocean, hunt and explore, and navigate the challenges of another day. But right now, in this moment, there is only rest, only peace, only the slow beating of 3 hearts, the gentle flow of breath through gills. the soft pulsing of a sleeping mind, dreaming in colors. And you know that morning will come too. You know you'll need to wake, to face another day, to take on whatever challenges await. But right now, in this moment, there is only rest, only this, only now, only sleep, waiting patiently for you to surrender to it completely. Let's drift even deeper now into the twilight zone of the ocean, where sunlight barely reaches, where the water is cool and dark and peaceful. Here we find the whale, not the great whales, the blues and humpbacks that swim near the surface, but the deep-diving whales, the sperm whales who descend thousands of feet into the quiet depths. Whales are mammals like us. They breathe air like us. They're warm-blooded like us. And they sleep like us, but in the most remarkable way. Whales sleep vertically. They hang suspended in the water, head up or head down, completely still, like they're floating in space. They don't sleep deeply for long periods like we do. Instead, they take short naps, usually just 10 to 15 minutes at a time. But during these naps, they're completely motionless, completely quiet, completely at peace. Imagine a pod of sperm whales all hanging vertically in the dark water, all sleeping at the same time. They look like a forest of living trees, rooted to nothing, suspended in the darkness, utterly still and silent. Scientists who have observed this behavior describe it as one of the most peaceful, most surreal sights in all of nature. These massive creatures, some weighing 45 tons, hanging weightless in the water, sleeping in perfect vertical formation. When whales sleep, only half of their brain sleeps at a time. The other half stays awake, maintaining just enough awareness to remind the whale to surface and breathe. This is called unihemispheric sleep, and it allows the whale to rest while still taking care of its basic needs. There's a kind of wisdom in this, a balance between rest and vigilance, between letting go and staying aware. We can't sleep with half our brain like whales do, but we can trust that our unconscious mind will take care of us while we sleep, that our body will keep breathing, our heart will keep beating, our essential functions will continue without our conscious effort. Just like the whale trusts that the awake half of its brain will remind it to breathe, we can trust that our body knows what to do, that we're safe to let go completely, that we'll be taken care of even in our most vulnerable state. Whales also sing. Their songs travel for hundreds of miles through the ocean, echoing through the deep water, reaching other whales across vast distances. But at night, when they sleep, the singing stops. The ocean grows quiet. The only sound is the gentle movement of water, the distant creaking of the ocean floor, the soft murmur of 1,000 sleeping creatures, all breathing slowly, all dreaming peacefully. The whale's song during the day can be hauntingly beautiful. Complex melodies that rise and fall, that repeat and vary, that seem to carry meaning and emotion. But the whale's silence at night is equally beautiful. It's the silence of rest, of peace, of a day's work done, and the permission to simply be still. You've been singing your own song all day. Your voice, your actions, your thoughts, your constant doing and being and engaging with the world. But now, like the whale, you can be silent. You can let your song fade into quiet. You can stop producing, stop performing, stop broadcasting yourself out into the world. You can simply be still, be quiet, be at rest. The deep ocean where whales sleep is one of the most peaceful places on earth. There's no light, so there's no day or night, just eternal twilight. There's no wind, no waves, just stillness. The pressure is immense, but the whale's body is designed for it, so it feels no discomfort, no stress, just the gentle, even pressure of water on all sides. Being held, being supported, being embraced by the ocean itself. You can imagine this now. Imagine that you're floating in deep, dark water. The pressure around you is gentle but firm, like a full body hug, like being wrapped in the softest, most supportive blanket imaginable. You're weightless here. Gravity has no hold on you. Your body floats effortlessly, requiring no effort, no tension, no holding on. You're vertical, like the sleeping whale, head up toward the distant surface, feet pointing down toward the ocean floor miles below. But you're not rising or sinking. You're perfectly balanced, perfectly still, perfectly suspended in this dark, peaceful space. The water holds you completely. You trust it to support you, to keep you exactly where you are, to not let you fall or drift away. And in this complete support, in this total trust, your body can relax in ways it never relaxes on land. Every muscle can let go. Every joint can release. Every bit of tension can just dissolve into the water, carried away by gentle currents you can't even feel. Your breathing slows to match the whale's breathing. Slow, deep breaths, taken only when needed. Long pauses between breaths, where you're simply still, simply waiting, simply existing in the space between one breath and the next. The whale can hold its breath for over an hour. You don't need to hold yours that long, but you can let the pauses between breaths grow longer, grow quieter, grow more peaceful. Breathe in when you need to, when your body gently asks for air, and then let it go slowly, completely, and wait. Wait in the stillness, wait in the silence, wait in the peaceful space where nothing is happening, nothing is required, nothing exists except this perfect, complete, absolute now. The whale knows this peace intimately. It's lived in this ocean for millions of years. Its ancestors have been diving deep, sleeping vertically, singing across vast distances for longer than humans have existed. The whale carries this ancient peace in its bones, in its blood, in the very structure of its massive, gentle body. And that peace is available to you too. Not because you're a whale, but because you're alive, because you're part of this same ocean of existence, this same vast interconnected web of life that includes whales and jellyfish and seahorses and every other creature that has ever learned to rest, to sleep, to surrender to the gentle embrace of unconsciousness. You're floating now, suspended in darkness, held completely, supported absolutely. The ocean is inside you and around you. Your body is mostly water, just like the jellyfish. Your blood is salty, like the sea. You are not separate from the ocean. You are part of it. You are it. And in recognizing this, you can access the same peace that the whale knows. The same trust. The same absolute certainty that you are held. You are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. Let yourself sink deeper into this feeling. Deeper into the darkness. Deeper into the peace. The whale is near, a massive gentle presence in the water beside you. You can't see it, but you can feel it, the way it displaces water, the way its slow breathing creates subtle currents, the way its presence somehow makes the darkness feel less empty, less alone. You're not alone in this ocean. You're surrounded by sleeping creatures, all of them peaceful, all of them dreaming, all of them trusting the water to hold them until morning. And you're one of them now, one of the sleeping ones, one of the peaceful ones, one of the creatures who knows how to let go, how to trust, how to surrender completely to the ancient eternal rhythm of rest and renewal. Let's rise now just a little into shallower waters where the sun still reaches, where coral reefs bloom like underwater gardens. Here we meet the sea turtle, one of the oldest, wisest, most peaceful creatures in all the ocean. Sea turtles have been swimming the oceans for over 100 million years. They were here when dinosaurs walked the earth. They survived the asteroid impact that killed the dinosaurs. They've witnessed ice ages and warm periods, the rise and fall of countless species, the slow dance of continents across the face of the earth. And through all of this, they've remained essentially the same: peaceful, patient, enduring. A sea turtle's life is one of slow, steady movement. They swim with gentle strokes of their flippers, never rushing, never hurrying, just moving at their own pace, their own rhythm, through the vast blue world. They can hold their breath for hours. When they sleep, they wedge themselves under a coral ledge or rest on the sandy bottom, and they simply stop swimming, stop moving, just rest, breathing only once every few hours, in a state so close to hibernation that they seem almost lifeless. But they're not lifeless. They're deeply, profoundly at rest. The sea turtle's heart rate during sleep drops to just a few beats per minute. Its metabolism slows to almost nothing. Its body temperature cools to match the water around it. It becomes part of the environment, part of the reef, part of the ocean floor, indistinguishable from the rocks and coral and sand. This is rest in its purest form, not just a cessation of activity, but a profound slowing down, a deep integration with the environment, a state of being so relaxed, so at peace, that the boundaries between self and world begin to dissolve. The turtle doesn't fight this dissolution. It welcomes it. It knows that this is how deep rest happens, by letting go of the need to be separate, distinct, individual, by allowing yourself to merge, to blend, to become one with the peaceful world around you. Sea turtles navigate using the Earth's magnetic field. They can sense the subtle magnetic currents that flow around the planet, and they use these to find their way across thousands of miles of open ocean. They return to the same beaches where they were born, sometimes after 30 years of wandering, guided by this invisible magnetic map that they carry inside them. This is a kind of trust we can barely imagine, to swim for decades across a vast, featureless ocean, trusting completely that your internal compass will guide you home, never doubting, never questioning, just swimming, day after day, year after year, trusting absolutely in something you can't see, can't touch, can only feel in the deepest, most instinctive part of yourself. You have this same kind of internal compass, an instinct that guides you toward what you need, toward rest when you're tired, toward food when you're hungry, toward connection when you're lonely. Your body knows what it needs. Your unconscious mind knows where you need to go. And right now, both your body and your mind are guiding you toward sleep, toward rest, toward the deep, restorative unconsciousness that your system knows it needs. You can trust this guidance the way the sea turtle trusts its magnetic sense. You don't need to question it, doubt it, or fight it. You can simply follow it. Simply allow yourself to be guided by this ancient, instinctive wisdom that's older than thought, older than language, older than civilization itself. The sea turtle's shell is its home, its protection, its constant companion. It carries this home everywhere it goes, never separate from it, never without it. The shell is part of its skeleton, fused to its spine and ribs, as much a part of the turtle as your bones are part of you. In your shell, you're always home. No matter how far you swim, how deep you dive, how lost you might feel, you're always carrying home with you. This is a profound kind of security, a deep kind of peace. And you have your own version of this. Your body is your home. Your skin is your shell. No matter where you go, no matter what happens in the external world, you're always home, always safe, always protected by this body that has carried you through every moment of your life. Tonight, you can rest in your shell. You can feel the safety of your own skin, the protection of your own boundaries, the comfort of being enclosed, contained, held within this body that is your constant home. The turtle knows this comfort intimately. Inside its shell, it's invulnerable. Nothing can harm it. It can retreat completely, pull its head and flippers inside, and just wait. Wait for danger to pass. Wait for stress to subside. Wait for peace to return. You can retreat too. You can pull yourself inward, away from the world's demands, away from external pressures, away from anything that feels like too much. You can go inside into your own quiet internal space and just wait, just rest, just be protected and safe and completely at peace. The ocean where the sea turtle lives is full of color and life. Coral reefs in shades of purple and orange and pink. Fish in every color of the rainbow. Anemones waving their tentacles like underwater flowers. Seagrass swaying in the gentle current. It's a riot of color and movement and life. But the turtle moves through all of this with perfect calm. It's not overwhelmed by the abundance, not overstimulated by the color and movement. It simply swims its slow, steady course, noticing everything but attached to nothing, present but peaceful, engaged but not entangled. This is a model for how to move through life, to be present to all the color and movement and stimulation, but not to be overwhelmed by it, to notice without needing to grasp, to experience without needing to possess, to swim through it all with slow, steady grace, always at your own pace, always in your own rhythm, always peacefully yourself. The sea turtle eats seagrass and jellyfish, simple foods, eaten slowly, with no urgency. It finds a patch of seagrass and grazes there for hours, taking one slow bite after another, chewing thoughtfully, swallowing peacefully. There's no rush, no competition, no stress, just the simple, satisfying act of eating what you need, as much as you need, at the pace that feels right. This is mindful eating in its purest form, and sleep can be approached the same way. Not as something to consume quickly or accomplish efficiently, but as something to savor, to take in slowly, to experience fully and completely, one gentle breath at a time. The turtle's life is long. Some sea turtles live over 100 years. They're not in a hurry because they have time, all the time, in the world. They can afford to move slowly, to rest completely, to take the long view, the patient perspective, the wisdom that comes from knowing that everything happens in its own time, at its own pace, according to its own natural rhythm. You have time too. Maybe not 100 years like the turtle, but right now, in this moment, you have all the time you need. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do, no deadline you're racing toward. There's only this moment, this breath, this gentle drift towards sleep. And you have all the time in the world for it. The turtle would tell you this if it could speak. Slow down, it would say. You have time. Rest completely. There's no rush. Everything will still be there in the morning. Everything will wait. Right now, just be still, be peaceful, be at rest. The ocean will hold you. The water will support you. The ancient rhythm of the tides will rock you gently, endlessly, like a mother rocking a child, until you drift off into the deep, peaceful sleep that your body knows it needs, that your mind knows it deserves, that your soul knows is the most natural thing in the world. Let's visit now one of the strangest, most wonderful creatures in all the ocean, the manta ray. Manta rays are massive, sometimes with wingspans over 20 feet, but despite their size, they're completely gentle. They have no stinger, no weapons, no defense, except their size and their speed. But they rarely need speed, because they have no predators, no enemies, nothing to fear. They glide through the water with movements so graceful, so effortless, that they seem to be flying rather than swimming. Their huge wing-like fins move in slow, powerful beats, propelling them through the water with barely any effort at all. Watching a manta ray swim is like watching a bird soar. There's the same sense of weightlessness, the same grace, the same impression that they're not fighting gravity but dancing with it, using it, flowing with it rather than against it. Manta rays are filter feeders. They swim through clouds of plankton, their mouths open wide, filtering thousands of tiny organisms from the water. They're not hunting in any aggressive sense. They're simply swimming through their food, gathering it effortlessly, taking in exactly what they need, without chase, without struggle, without any of the violence we typically associate with eating in the animal kingdom. There's a beautiful simplicity to this. The manta ray doesn't need to work hard for its food. It simply needs to be in the right place, swimming through the right waters, and abundance flows into it naturally, effortlessly. This is a model for receiving rather than grasping, for allowing rather than forcing, for trusting that what you need will come to you if you simply keep moving, keep being present, keep your mouth open, metaphorically speaking, to receive what life offers. Manta rays are also remarkably intelligent. They have the largest brain of any fish, and they display behaviors that suggest self-awareness, curiosity, and even playfulness. They've been observed visiting cleaning stations on coral reefs, where smaller fish eat parasites off their skin. The manta ray will hover motionless over the reef, sometimes for an hour or more, while dozens of tiny cleaner fish work over every inch of its body. This is a remarkable display of patience and trust. The manta ray, so much larger and more powerful than the cleaner fish, allows itself to be vulnerable, to be touched, to be tended to by these tiny creatures. It surrenders control, relaxes completely, and accepts the help and care that's being offered. There's deep wisdom in this ability to receive care, to allow yourself to be helped, to relax into vulnerability rather than fighting it. The manta ray knows it needs these cleaning sessions. It knows the parasites would eventually harm it if left unchecked. So it seeks out the cleaning stations, and it waits patiently, peacefully, while the work is done. You're in your own kind of cleaning station right now. This time of rest, this preparation for sleep, this is when your body does its maintenance work, when your cells repair themselves, when your immune system strengthens, when your brain processes the day's experiences and files them away. Just like the manta ray, you need this maintenance. And just like the manta ray, All you need to do is hold still, be patient, and allow it to happen. You don't need to manage the process. You don't need to supervise your cells or direct your neurons. You just need to be still, be peaceful, and trust that your body knows what to do. The manta ray sometimes breaches, leaping completely out of the water and crashing back down with a tremendous splash. Scientists aren't entirely sure why they do this. Maybe to dislodge parasites, maybe to communicate with other mantas, or maybe simply for joy, for the sheer pleasure of breaking through the surface, of feeling air instead of water, of experiencing flight in its purest form, even if just for a moment. There's something beautiful about this possibility, that a creature might do something difficult and energetically costly simply because it feels good, simply for the joy of it, simply because it can. This reminds us that life isn't all about efficiency and purpose and productivity. Sometimes the point is simply to feel alive, to experience joy, to do things for no other reason than that they bring us pleasure or peace or a sense of wonder. And rest is one of these things. Yes, sleep is necessary. Yes, it serves important biological functions. But it's also pleasurable. The feeling of sinking into soft sheets, of letting your body relax completely, of drifting in that peaceful space between waking and sleeping. This is one of life's great pleasures, and you're allowed to enjoy it, to savor it, to take deep satisfaction in the simple act of resting completely. Manta rays often swim in groups, gliding together in loose formations, each ray moving independently but somehow in harmony with the others. They don't touch, don't communicate, obviously, but they stay together, move together, exist together in a kind of casual companionship that requires no effort, no negotiation, no constant maintenance, just presence, just proximity, just the comfort of not being alone. Even in sleep, you're not alone. You're connected to every other sleeping person, every other resting creature, every other being that has surrendered to the universal need for rest. You're part of a global community of sleepers, all of you letting go at the same time, all of you trusting at the same time, all of you participating in this ancient essential rhythm of rest and renewal. The manta ray swims in tropical waters, warm and clear and beautiful. The sun penetrates deep, creating cathedral-like rays of light that shift and move with the surface waves. The manta ray glides through these light rays, its body alternately illuminated and shadowed, alternately visible and mysterious. There's a dance between light and darkness here, between revealing and concealing, between being seen and being hidden. And both are necessary. Both are beautiful. Both are part of the manta ray's experience of its world. You move through both light and darkness too. Your waking hours in the light, your sleeping hours in darkness. And both are necessary. Both are valuable. Both are essential parts of being alive, being human, being whole. The manta ray doesn't fear the darkness of deep water. It doesn't cling to the light near the surface. It moves between both realms with complete ease, complete comfort, complete trust that both are safe, both are home, both are exactly where it needs to be. You can trust darkness too, the darkness of sleep, the darkness of closed eyes, the darkness of a quiet room and a peaceful night. This darkness isn't empty or frightening. It's full of rest, full of healing, full of dreams and restoration, and the deep essential work of renewal that can only happen when we surrender to the dark, to the unknown, to the mysterious realm of sleep. The manta ray glides on, huge and gentle and perfectly at peace, moving through its warm, sunlit waters with wings that are older than memory, with a grace that is older than time, with a peace that is older than fear. And you can glide with it, beside it, as peaceful as it is, as trusting as it is, as completely, absolutely, perfectly at rest. Let's visit one more creature before we finish our journey, the nautilus. The nautilus is a living fossil, virtually unchanged for 500 million years. It lives in a beautiful spiraling shell, each chamber perfectly formed, each curve mathematically precise, following the famous Fibonacci sequence that appears throughout nature. The nautilus starts its life in the smallest, innermost chamber of its shell. As it grows, it builds new, larger chambers, sealing off the old ones behind it, moving always forward, always outward, always into larger spaces. But it never loses the old chambers. They remain part of its shell, part of its structure, part of who it is. The sealed chambers are filled with gas, which gives the nautilus buoyancy. By adjusting the gas to liquid ratio in these chambers, the nautilus can rise or sink in the water with almost no effort. It has perfect control over its depth, its position, its relationship to the water around it. There's a beautiful metaphor here about growth and memory. The nautilus carries its past with it. All those sealed chambers, representing stages of life, it has moved beyond. But those past stages aren't burdens. They're what allow it to float, to move, to exist in balance with its environment. Your past is like this too. All the stages you've been through, all the versions of yourself you've outgrown, they're still part of you. They're sealed chambers in your personal shell, and they're not weighing you down. They're giving you buoyancy. They're helping you float. They're part of the structure that makes you who you are right now, in this moment. The nautilus moves through the water by jet propulsion, sucking water into its shell and then expelling it forcefully. But even this movement is somehow graceful, somehow peaceful. The nautilus doesn't race or dart or flee. It moves with purpose, but without panic, with direction, but without desperation. It knows where it's going, and it knows it will get there. And there's no need to rush, no need to force, no need to push harder than necessary. This is efficient movement. This is peaceful progress. This is the art of moving through life with just enough effort, just enough energy, just enough push to get where you need to go, but no more. No wasted motion, no unnecessary struggle, just smooth, steady, peaceful forward movement. At night, the nautilus descends into deeper water. It sinks down into the dark, into the cold, into the quiet depths where it will spend the night, hours resting, waiting, existing in a state of minimal activity. It doesn't sleep the way we think of sleep, but it rests deeply, its metabolism slowed, its movements reduced to almost nothing. And in the morning, it rises again, following the vertical migration that has been its pattern for 500 million years. Down at night, up in the morning. Rest and activity, darkness and light, the eternal rhythm. You're following this same rhythm, descending now into your own depths, into your own darkness, into your own quiet resting place. And in the morning, you'll rise again, ascending back into light and activity and engagement with the world. But right now, you're descending, sinking gently into deeper and deeper peace, deeper and deeper rest, deeper and deeper into the welcoming darkness where sleep lives. The nautilus's shell is a logarithmic spiral, growing ever outward, ever larger, but maintaining the same proportions, the same elegant curve, the same mathematical perfection. It's one of nature's most beautiful forms, appearing not just in nautilus shells, but in galaxies, in hurricanes, in the curve of a fern frond unfurling. This spiral represents growth that honors its origins, growth that doesn't abandon its center, but expands from it, includes it, builds upon it. You're growing this way too, even in sleep. Especially in sleep, each night of rest is a new chamber being built, a new layer being added to your structure, a new curve in your expanding spiral of growth and development and becoming. The nautilus has dozens of tentacles, short and simple compared to an octopus's arms, but perfectly suited to its needs. It uses them to walk along the ocean floor, to grab food, to explore its environment. They're sensitive and dexterous, able to taste and touch and gather information about the world. But at rest, these tentacles retract into the shell, disappearing completely, leaving only the smooth, curved exterior visible. This is the art of withdrawal, of pulling in, of becoming small and protected when the time is right. Not in fear, but in wisdom. Knowing when to extend yourself and when to retract, when to reach out and when to pull back, when to engage and when to rest. Right now is a time for retraction, a time to pull your tentacles in, to withdraw from engagement with the world, to become small and protected and interior, to let your smooth exterior face the world while your soft, vulnerable interior rests safe inside, untouched, untroubled, completely at peace. The nautilus's eye is simple, just a pinhole opening with no lens. It can sense light and darkness, movement and stillness, but it can't see details the way we can. It navigates primarily by smell and touch, by direct contact with its environment rather than by visual observation. In a way, it lives in a simpler world. Less information, less stimulation. More direct, more immediate, more tactile. As you drift towards sleep, your world is becoming simpler too. Less visual information as your eyes close or lose focus. Less cognitive processing as your thinking mind slows down. More sensation, more feeling, more direct experience of your body and breath and the simple fact of being alive, being present, being here. The nautilus has survived for 500 million years by being perfectly adapted to its niche. Not by being the fastest or strongest or smartest, but by being exactly what it needs to be, doing exactly what it needs to do, existing in perfect balance with its environment. You don't need to be anything other than what you are right now. You don't need to improve yourself, optimize yourself, push yourself to be more or different or better. Right now, you're perfectly adapted to this moment of rest, this moment of peace, this moment of gentle drift towards sleep. The nautilus's spiral shell reminds us that life moves in cycles, not straight lines. We don't progress linearly from birth to death. We spiral, coming back around to familiar places, but at different levels, different layers, different chambers of understanding. You've been here before, in this place of preparing for sleep. You've done this thousands of times, but each time is also new, a new chamber, a new curve in your personal spiral, a new opportunity to practice the ancient art of letting go, of trusting, of surrendering to rest. And you're getting better at it. With each night, with each cycle, with each spiral around, you're learning more deeply how to release, how to relax, how to allow sleep to come in its own time, in its own way, without force or fear or frustration. The nautilus doesn't question its spiral. It doesn't wish for a different pattern or a faster growth rate or a more exciting shape. It simply builds its chambers one after another, following the ancient blueprint encoded in its cells, trusting completely in the process that has worked for 500 million years. You can trust your process too. Trust that your body knows how to sleep, that your mind knows how to rest, that you have within you all the wisdom, all the instinct, all the ancient biological programming you need to do this perfectly, naturally, easily. The ocean where the nautilus lives is vast and deep and full of mystery. Most of it has never been seen by human eyes. Most of it remains unexplored, unknown, hidden in darkness and pressure and distance. But the nautilus knows its small part of this vast ocean. It knows its reef, its depth, its hunting grounds, its resting places. And that's enough. It doesn't need to know the whole ocean. It only needs to know its own small place within it. You don't need to understand everything about sleep, about consciousness, about the brain and dreams and circadian rhythms. You only need to know your own experience, your own body, your own small place in the vast ocean of existence. And that knowing comes not from thinking or analyzing or studying, but from direct experience, from simply being here, breathing here, existing here in this moment of transition between waking and sleeping. The nautilus is with you now, spiraling slowly through dark water, its shell catching occasional glimmers of light, its tentacles retracted, its ancient, simple eye seeing only darkness and peace, darkness and rest, darkness and the gentle rhythm of sinking, drifting, descending into sleep. We're near the end of our journey now. We've traveled from the surface waters where jellyfish pulse gently with the tide, down through shallow reefs where seahorses sway and sea turtles graze peacefully, through the twilight zone where octopuses den and whales hang vertically in sleep, to the deepest places where mysterious creatures like the nautilus follow patterns older than memory. Every creature we've met has taught us something about peace, about rest, about the art of existing in harmony with the world around us. The jellyfish taught us to trust the current, to let go of control, to simply pulse gently and allow ourselves to be carried where we need to go. The seahorse taught us patience, the power of stillness, the beauty of daily rituals, and anchoring ourselves safely while the world swirls around us. The octopus taught us about finding safe dens, about trusting our body's autonomous wisdom, about the courage to be vulnerable enough to sleep and dream. The whale taught us about the deep peace of vertical stillness, about trusting half our mind to care for us while the other half rests, about the wisdom of silence after a day of singing our song into the world. The sea turtle taught us about slow, steady movement, about carrying our home with us always, about the magnetic pull towards what we truly need, about taking the long view and trusting that everything happens in its own perfect time. The manta ray taught us about graceful, effortless movement, about receiving rather than grasping, about allowing ourselves to be tended and cared for, about the joy of simply existing in our bodies, doing what we were designed to do. The nautilus taught us about growth that honors its origins, about the spiral nature of life, about simple seeing and direct knowing, about perfect adaptation to our unique niche in the vast ocean of existence. All of these creatures, different as they are, share something essential. They all know how to rest. They all trust the water to hold them. They all surrender to the natural rhythms of activity and rest. Light and darkness waking and sleeping. And you share this knowledge too, deep in your cells, deep in your bones, deep in the part of you that is still connected to the ocean, that remembers when your ancestors lived in water, that carries within it all the wisdom of all the creatures that have ever lived and rested and slept in the ancient eternal sea. You're part of this lineage, part of this family, part of this vast community of beings who know, who have always known, that rest is sacred, that sleep is healing, that darkness is not to be feared but embraced, that letting go is not losing but gaining, that surrender is not weakness but the deepest possible strength. The ocean is inside you. Your blood is salt water. Your cells are tiny seas. Your body is mostly water, just like the ocean, just like the jellyfish, just like the planet itself. You are not separate from the sea. You are the sea. You are the water. You are the wave and the tide and the current. And right now, you are the calm sea at night. Smooth as glass, dark as ink, peaceful as sleep itself. The surface barely moves. The depths are perfectly still. Everything is quiet. Everything is at rest. All the creatures have found their sleeping places. The jellyfish pulse slowly in the darkness. The seahorses cling to swaying seagrass. The octopuses hide in rocky dens. The whales hang vertically in the deep. The sea turtles wedge under coral ledges. The manta rays glide slowly in the warm currents. The nautilus spirals down into darker water. And you're sinking too. Sinking into your bed, into your pillow, or into the welcoming darkness of sleep. Your breathing has slowed to match the ocean's rhythm. Your heartbeat has steadied to the pulse of distant tides. Your body has relaxed into the buoyancy of deep rest, floating in the warm internal sea of your own being. There's nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to do, no one you need to be except exactly what you are right now, peaceful, quiet, still, ready to sleep. The ocean holds you completely. The water supports you absolutely. The darkness embraces you gently. You're safe here. You're home here. You're exactly, perfectly, completely where you need to be. All the sea creatures whisper their blessing as they settle into their own rest. Sleep well, they say. Sleep deeply, they say. Trust the water, they say. Trust the darkness, they say. Trust yourself, they say. You know how to do this, they say. You've always known, they say. Just let go, they say. Just sink down, they say. Just sleep, they say. And so you do. You let go. You sink down. You sleep. Deep and peaceful and safe and held and completely, absolutely, perfectly at rest. The ocean rocks you gently. The water holds you softly. The darkness embraces you completely. And you drift, and you float, and you sleep, and you dream, and all is well, and all is peace, and all is exactly, perfectly, completely as it should be. Good night. Sleep well. The ocean will hold you until morning, and when you wake, you'll rise like the nautilus rising at dawn, refreshed and renewed and ready to begin again. But for now, just sleep, just rest, just be. The ocean is singing you a lullaby, the ancient song of water and darkness and peace. Listen to it, feel it. Let it carry you away, into sleep, into dreams, into the deep, peaceful rest that is your birthright, your nature, your home. Good night.